again, part 3 of my Barry Harris, this time minor 6 diminished scale system or harmony, whatever you want to call it. It's like craziness. So I watched a lot of videos about this, and a lot of people just say, it just makes this kind of scale. It's way more than just a scale. It's a whole system of chords and harmony, and if you just think that it's just another scale, you're not going to be able to take advantage of this whole thing. It's like a really crazy kind of thing that turns into a miracle. So I called this lesson the minor diminished sixth scale, part 3, the chaos that blossoms into a beautiful melodic and harmonic flower. And that's what I called it, because that's what it is. It's like a genius kind of thing. So if you didn't watch part 1 and part 2, your head's going to explode unless you're really smart. But the truth is that it was complicated for me. But if you watch the last 2 videos, I did this in C minor. This time I'm doing it in B, and there's a good reason for it. And if you watch till the end, you're going to go, holy crap, that's like a miracle. So look at this. What it is basically is I took a B minor 6 chord, see that? And the 5 chord of B minor is F sharp 7, but since we like to play a flat 9, which is really F sharp 7 flat 9 would really be an A sharp diminished 7 chord over an F sharp, right? So we're going to get rid of that because it shows up here anyway, see that? And we're going to take these 2 chords and we're going to make a scale out of it, okay? We're going to make a scale out of these 2 chords. When we make a scale, this is the scale that we get. And it's a 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, natural 6, and a major 7 scale. So look, without this, it's just melodic minor, right? With it, it's something a little bit different. And the scale in itself sounds like this. It doesn't sound like too much by itself, but the miracle of this scale is that every interval has like this weird kind of chemistry together. And if you watch Barry Harris's video, what he does is he goes from the roots and goes up one way and down the other way, and it creates this interesting kind of thing like this. Look. Right, so that's what you get. But I'm going to play that same exact lick later, and you're going to find out why it works great. So anyways, we're going to take the scale, and then we're going to make chords out of it again, and it's an 8-note scale, right? So we're going to get 8 chords, just like you would harmonize any other scale. And so what I did, the first chord is going to be B minor 6, second chord is going to be C sharp diminished, and it just repeats, B minor 6, this time with D as the lowest note, E diminished 7, which is the same as this, right? The same chord, same notes. Next is B minor 6 with the F sharp, the 5th as the lowest note, and then a G diminished 7. It's the same diminished chords, right? Next, we're going to get B minor 6 with G sharp as the bottom note, which is really a G sharp minor 7 flat 5, and then A sharp diminished 7, which is, again, they're all the same diminished chords. So when we do that, this is what we're going to get. B minor 6, all right, C sharp diminished. Next is B minor 6 with D as the lowest note, right, and then we're going to get E diminished. Then we're going to get another B minor 6, but this time with F sharp as the lowest note, G diminished, another B minor 6, but this time with the G sharp as the lowest note, which is like G sharp minor 7 flat 5, and then A sharp diminished. And then we're back to the B minor 6. So here's where the cool thing happens. I'm not going to play these over like a B minor jam, but you could. It would sound perfectly respectable in its own right. I'm going over here and searching for my pen. Okay, but what we're going to do this time is we're not going to do that. What we are going to do is we're going to play this whole sequence of chords over an E7 thing. So like if you got an E7, like a blues or whatever, right? Now why does that work? Well, look, let's look at these two chords over that E7. What is B? Well, that's going to be the fifth of this E7 chord. What's the D? That's the flat 7, right? What's this F sharp for the E7? That'll be the ninth. What's this G sharp? This is the third, right? So B minor 6 over this E7 is just going to sound like what? 5, 3, 5, 7, 9. It's going to sound like E. It's going to give you an E9 sound, right? Right? So, I mean, we can think about it this way if we want. Look, B minor 6 over E is going to give you that sound, right? But, well, what about this one here? The C sharp diminished 7 over the same E. Same thing, right? C sharp diminished 7 over E, right? Well, what are we going to get here? Well, the C sharp is going to be like a 13, right? That's perfectly respectable in a dominant chord, right? The E is the root, right? No great mystery there. Next, we got this A sharp. I'm sorry, the G, which is what? This G is like, this is a sharp 9, right? It's like right out of the blues, right? We play that in the blues all the time over this E chord, right? It's like right in the pentatonic scale too, right? And then we got this A sharp, which is like a, you know, a flat 5, right? This is also in the blues scale. So these two things in combination is going to give you an E9 sound, and this one's going to give you more like a, well, what do you want to call this? Like an E, I don't know, sharp 9, but with a 13 sound with a flat 5, right? It's sort of, you know, like the diminished scale, half-whole diminished scale in a way, right? But it's a really, one thing you can do with this is you can just play the chords, play those continuing chords over the E7, and this is what happens. What? Here's E, right? So here's B minor 6. I'm playing from the 4 string. Right? So, and the other thing we can do with this is we can, like I said, you can play the line from the scale, or you could play the arpeggios, right? So look, here's B minor 6, right? Next is G sharp diminished. Next is G diminished. Sorry, G sharp minor 7 flat 5, right? Next is G diminished. Next is B minor 6 from F sharp. Next is E diminished. Next is B minor 6 from the D. Next is C sharp diminished. And last but not least, coming back to where we started from, is B. All right, so I'm going to jam over an E7 chord, right? And it's going to loop it. And I'm going to play all these things, the arpeggios and the chords and that crazy line. So these are sort of the interesting sounds that you can get from this great system that Barry Harris came up with, or perfected it in a manner that we can understand and readily use. Next up, I'm just going to jam on a blues. Now, I'll do most of this stuff on the E chord because I'm only sort of good at the E chord still. This is a new thing for me. So I'm going to take a blues and I'm going to mix it up, and keep your ears opened for this minor 6 diminished scale harmony. So have fun. Experiment. Takes a little bit of time, at least it did for me, to get it under my fingers, but I'm working on it. It's a work in progress, and I'm feeling pretty happy that I'm coming up with these sort of great, angular, traditional, but still interesting sounds. So stay tuned for part 4.